Hey guys, it's Greg Jones for Engine Builder. As you can hear, we are at SICK Week and it's day one. We're at Orlando Speed World. I'm joined by Rick Fletes, and behind us is his 1970 Chevelle with an LB7 Duramax, and it's our diesel of the week.
Engine Builder's Diesel of the Week is sponsored by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics.
Rick, thanks so much for giving us a little bit of time here to talk about your Chevelle, as well as the Duramax that you got in it here. But before we dive into some details about that, tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how this car and the Duramax project came about.
So, like you said earlier, my name is Rick Fletes. I'm from Northern California. We've been drag racing for probably close to 20 years.
Yeah.
We started building this car in about 2008. Okay. Started driving it with a Duramax LB7 in 2009. So for the past 14 years, it's had a Duramax in the car. We put about 150,000 miles on the car in those 14 years. And we've raced it from 2009 until today.
Yeah.
Okay. We drive it, I mean, with my wife and our kids when they were little. I mean, they're adults now.
Yeah.
And when we built the car, that's what we wanted. We wanted something that we could drive around everywhere, every day, and not worry about it breaking down or having an issue or getting special fuel or anything, right? We stop at any truck stop and get fuel. Yeah. And we roll. Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun. It really has.
Cool. Yeah. Well, and I was complimenting you earlier, you know, having a Duramax diesel in a regular street car is a little different. You know, you don't see a ton of it, but it looks awesome. Tell me a little bit about that decision to put it in a Chevelle versus just having a truck.
So I had an 02, or I still have it today, an 02 Chevy pickup. Okay. Right, that was my first Duramax. We bought that in 2001. Yeah. The first time we drove it, I was like, this has to be in a hot rod. This is it. This is the pinnacle of hot rodding right here. Yeah. You know, with the reliability and the efficiency of a diesel, it was like a no-brainer. I just had to figure out how to do it. Yeah. It took like 5 years of learning and studying. And back then, you couldn't call somebody and get a harness or get tuning or get anything. It didn't exist. You know, we did all that ourselves in the garage. Yeah. You know, and today, right now, if we drive this car down the street, we get 30 miles to the gallon. Wow. Right now. Wow. You know, with this turbo and this fuel and this nitrogen and stuff, it'll make over 1,500 horsepower. Yeah. And about 2,500 foot-pounds of torque. You know, that's maxed out. Yeah. We don't always run it at that level, right? We could adjust our tune from 1,000 up to about 1,800 horsepower. Okay. We typically run it about 1,500. Yeah. Right? And it's an 8-second car. Yeah. It's gone 870. It's 4,600 pounds. It's gone 160 mile an hour in the quarter. It's gone a 130 60 foot in the 60 foot, a 130. That's awesome. It could do that consistently. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So Rick, tell us a little bit about the LB7 itself. You know, what kind of went into the engine? So the short block, the crank, and the heads, those are bone stock, right from the factory, and they've never been touched. They have 200,000 miles. They came from a wrecked truck, right? So the block has 200,000 miles. The heads, the valves, 200,000 miles. Never had a valve job. Okay, it's got SoCal Diesel springs, SoCal Diesel push rods, SoCal Diesel camshaft, SoCal Diesel connected rods. SoCal Diesel is huge for us. They're out of California. They make a lot of our engine parts. We deal with them regularly. Yeah. Okay. The fuel system, it's S&S Diesel Motorsports. They provide us injectors and the pump and tech support if we need help down the road with sensors, a bunch of stuff. Yeah. They're great for us.
What size fuel injectors are you running?
They're 150% over S&S injectors. Yeah. Yeah, they call them the SAC nozzles, which is the latest injector design for the LB7. Yeah. It is. And then turbo. Turbo, stainless diesel does our turbo. Okay. It's their infamous 5-blade Mafia turbo. It's a S472. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that big. It's not, compared to other vehicles here. Sure. You know, these turbos will max out about 1,200 horsepower, and then we throw nitrous on top. Okay. We can flow 800 horsepower of nitrous. Yeah. We can. You know, I run out of fuel, though, at about 1,800, 1,600 horsepower. I'm out of fuel. I'm capped out. Yeah. And the car really can't handle more than that. Yeah. So it's a mini tub. The tire's not big, but it works. I mean, we have a full back seat, stock suspension front to back. Yeah. You know, but we wanted to keep that street trim from the beginning. You know, when we first built the car, it needed to be a street car. Yeah. It was never built to be a race car. You know, and it's just evolved. I mean, it has a roll cage now, but it has AC, you know, and it's quiet. Like you can have a conversation in the car driving down the road. You know, my wife does all these events with us.
Yeah.
This is probably like our 6th drag and drive.
Yeah, that's what you're telling me, that you guys have done a lot of the Rocky Mountain Race Week stuff, a couple of the Midwest drag events. So yeah, you definitely have the experience. First time here at Sick Week though, right?
It is. This is our first time. We were in last year, but we didn't make it. We had transmission issues.
Okay.
That's been our biggest issue throughout the year, especially like the past probably 5 years. As we up the power level, the transmission survival or game or whatever you want to call it, it's been pretty tough.
And what kind of transmission are you running?
It's a 4L80.
Okay.
And I just switched it to a manually controlled 4L80. So as an Extreme Automatics valve body, it has a DMP torque converter. DMP has been doing our converters for almost 10 years now. You know, they did it with us with the 400 and now the 4L80 with the lockup, you know. And then the internals, I mean, it has airment shafts, billet drums, anything you can imagine as far as billet and upgraded it has.
Yeah.
You know, there probably isn't another 4L80 in the planet like this one.
Nice.
You know, and we've broken everything along the way.
and
then upgrading,
That's what racing's all about, right?
Yeah. So this one I put together. This motor I put together. You know, we run a shop out of California. We do a lot of diesel stuff, a lot of repair and maintenance, some performance. The performance stuff usually revolves around something like this.
Okay.
You know,
And what's the name of your shop?
it's RF Garage.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's in Galt, California. That's where we live, in Galt.
Very good.
That's another thing we talked about.
Yeah.
Galt, 3,000 miles away to get here.
Right. Definitely one of the longer trips
It is.
I'm sure any competitor's made.
Yeah. It's like 40, 45 hours to get here.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So, Rick, anything else about the Duramax that we haven't covered that you want to mention?
I mean, other than it's very streetable. You know, we turn going down the freeway, it'll go 70, 80 mile an hour at like 2,000 RPM.
Yeah.
It's quiet in the car, sips fuel. We have a little trailer we tow behind it, you know, for these events. For a couple years, we had a little camp trailer we towed behind it. So a lot of California events like that. It's just the reliability, you know, what you can do with it every day, it's mind-blowing. It really is.
All right, so Rick, you were telling us about your shop and that you're an AMSOIL dealer, and obviously they sponsor this series, and you're running AMSOIL in the car. You know, how has AMSOIL been for you?
AMSOIL has been great. We use it in the engine for the motor oil. We use it in the transmission for the racing transmission fluid. We use it in the rear differential. Essentially, all the fluids from bumper to bumper, we use AMSOIL.
Yeah.
And not only do we use it in the car, I keep it on the shelf. We sell it to all of our customers. So every everyday truck that puts on millions of miles up and down the freeway, towing these cars or towing their farm vehicles, you know, throughout the country. We sell it every day to everybody.
And how long have you been, a dealer for AMSOIL?
Probably about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
We've been using it in the car for about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Absolutely. Now, I assume you guys are running in the Freaks class?
We are.
Okay.
Yep.
And you mentioned that this is an 8-second car. Is that kind of what you're looking for running out on the track? You know, what kind of expectation for you?
So we're trying to make an 8-second pass every day.
Yeah.
We feel if we can do an 8-second pass every day and have an 8-second average, we're going to be at the top of the pass.
Yeah.
We will. I mean, we don't know who all showed up, but based on last year and based on some of the passes we've been watching, one of the cars already went 879. We know that.
Yeah.
You know, so if he left right now, he's turning an 879.
Yeah.
You know, I think we could do that.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see. The tracks are good. We need to leave hard.
Yeah.
You know, and let her eat.
Awesome. Well, Rick, we look forward to watching you out there on the track. Again, thanks for telling us about your Chevelle and the Duramax. Gorgeous stuff. And we wish you the best of luck this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys, we appreciate you tuning in to this Diesel of the Week. Special thanks to our sponsor, AMSOIL. Make sure you're following Engine Builder for more engine content, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.